Hey guys, this week we are talking about gambling etiquette, a fun Would You Rather, and a BJUA. Curious, huh? So stick around.
Welcome to the Crap Vegas podcast.
Vegas, here we come.
Vegas!
Here are your hosts, Chris and Josh.
Hello everyone, welcome to episode number 86 of the Crap Vegas podcast. I am Chris, he is Josh. Josh, what's new?
Well, what's new is...
Time travel. Since my first day on the job as the Starfleet captain, I swore I'd never let myself get caught in one of these godforsaken paradoxes. The future is the past is the future. It all gives me a headache.
I 100% agree with her. Josh is always having to tell me multiple times while we're recording, Chris, we're in Vegas right now, as this comes out.
Right.
And I always forget.
He does. And we are in Vegas right now. Well, either I'm in Vegas and you're not here yet, or I've left and you're still there.
Yeah, one of those two things. But either way, we're both going to be at Venetian Palazzo.
At the same place? Right.
At the same place. Now, Josh has got other things lined up. He allotted me, I think, one day. Is that what it is that you've given me?
Maybe 1.5.
It was even worse than that. When I found out I could actually make it out there this weekend when Josh is there, I messaged him and I said, Josh, we should go see Backstreet Boys over at the Sphere on Friday night because we're both going to be there. And Josh is like, I don't know if I have enough time for you and I to do that.
That's true. And for the very first time ever, I think I'm leaving on a Saturday and you're staying till Sunday.
Yeah, that doesn't happen very often either. When do I stick around? I guess I just need to leave Saturday night, Josh.
Yeah, which you very well might.
50-50. But it's okay.
If you're not a patron, not a KCS patron, and you're hearing this on Sunday, we will most likely have gone already.
Probably. I think I fly out Sunday morning at like 7. So I will probably go down to the tables around 4 or 4:30 and play for an hour or so before I have to catch my flight. But I highly doubt that anybody would happen to catch this, run downstairs, see me in that like 10-minute window they would have. So,
but if you're a KCS patron and you're listening to this on Friday, you do have a chance to see us on Friday or Saturday.
Absolutely. Come find us. You know where we're going to be. And if you want to find Josh, there's a 98% chance he's in the high limit bar over at Palazzo.
That's a pretty good shot. Yeah.
Okay.
So what's going on with you, Chris? I know you're back from a little family trip.
I'm back from another vacation in Pigeon Forge, as you call it. Pigeon Fjord.
I just
is that
do
what
singular.
You always refer? Oh, okay,
Pigeon
good.
Fjord.
Yeah, no, that was a lot of fun. Took my kids down there, brought a couple friends with us, had a great time, went ziplining and go-karting and all the good stuff. And, you know, it's always funny, Josh, because I am deathly afraid of heights. I hate heights.
Right.
But every time, if you ask the kids what they want to do, the first thing that comes up is always ziplining. And, of course, all these towers, you know, are like 6 miles up in the air.
Oh, yeah.
And I've learned over time doing this now, probably 4 or 5 times I've gone ziplining. Every time I learn, like the actual zipline experience, not scary. I think it's actually super fun. I really enjoy it. The scary part, though, is stepping out onto the platform and stepping up on the box to get hooked in.
Yes.
That is by far the most terrifying thing in the world, standing on this little rinky-dink, you know, 1 foot by 1 foot box before you're technically like fully hooked in. I mean, you got a security strap and worst case, you just get a wedgie if you fell, but it feels like you're about to die.
Did I tell you? I think this is before the show, so I may not have told you this story, but we went to, this is 3 or 4 years ago, we went to the San Diego Zoo, and then we went to the San Diego Safari Park thing, and they have a zip line over the Safari Park, Chris, and I've never done a zip line. I had never done a zip line before, and we go, just to your point, we go out there on this rickety tower, and I'm terribly afraid of heights, and my daughter is like, I don't know what she was at the time, like 8 years old, and it's just the two of us. My wife, for some reason, thought this was a good idea. So we're going out there, and I'm just trying to be brave because I'm the dad. And
no. I mean, I do the same thing. I was
trying not to show fear, and I'm waiting for my daughter to just freak out and say, can't do it. And she's not. So we're going, and I'm like, this is just nuts. And I have to go out there and get strapped in first, and I'm terrified. It was,
oh, gosh.
Yeah. It was not fun.
I always went last. There was actually 5 in our group.
Okay.
And they had tandem lines on every run.
I think we did too, right?
Which was nice. We didn't have that the last place we went. So that was a really nice change. But then, you know, 2 of my kids would go, then the next 2 would go, and then I'd be last by myself. And I would actually just go at the same time as the final guide. Let's get me hooked up. So I think it was a little bit better doing it that way because, like, even if I was scared, they wouldn't even see it. So it worked out a little bit better.
the best part was I didn't know if my daughter was crying or not, because I had to go first. Like they sent me out first.
Yeah.
And so I was like flailing all over trying to make her laugh.
Yeah.
She just sees me flailing all over.
She's like, oh
what
my
the
God,
hell?
what is wrong?
What the hell is Dad doing?
Well, they usually send us first because they want to see how much speed is required.
Well, that was the thing. Or maybe I passed her. Maybe she went first and I passed her. I don't remember, but yeah.
No, it's a whole thing. But anyways, Josh, it was a lot of fun. We had a great time. The kids didn't want to come home, but I needed to get back to work and did not see Dolly. Saw one of her dinner shows.
Okay.
Which was kind of fun. It was a pirates and mermaids sort of dinner show. It was kind of like an O thing, Josh, where they had a lake that surrounded the stage that they dove into multiple times and did, some of the cool water stuff. And
right.
I mean, it would be the worst show in Vegas if it was in Vegas, but I think for Pigeon Forge, it's a good show.
Yeah.
But, ticket wise though, I mean, it's like $95 to $100 a piece for a dinner show with not so good food. So, I mean, it's almost Vegas pricing.
Well, there you go. We went up to another Washington State tourism promotion coming up.
Leavenworth?
We didn't go to Leavenworth. We went to Deception Pass, which is scary. On the actually the bridge is terrifying if you're afraid of it, of heights and stuff. But it's kind of in northwestern Washington. It's about a 2-hour drive from the Seattle area. There's a naval base there. It's on Whidbey Island. If you're ever doing tourism in Washington, go to Deception Pass. Okay. It is amazingly beautiful. The ocean is right there, and you have great little hiking trails, not intense hiking, but kind of moderate hiking. Yeah. Really stunningly beautiful. We had just a perfect weather day. It was like 74 and sunny. Yeah. Perfect.
Oh, sounds amazing, man. I'm glad you got to enjoy that.
It was.
But you know what? We could talk all day about what's going on in our lives, but we have a lot of fun gambling stuff
to talk about. We got Vegas to do.
So let's keep it moving. So you're probably wondering how to get a hold of us. How about you send us an email? It's podcast@crapvegas.com. You can join us over on our Facebook group. That's crapvegas.com/Facebook. And I have to interrupt here, Josh, because I keep getting emails from a guy that is catching up on our episodes. And he just started like a month ago.
Oh, I know where you're going with this.
And he started at number 1. And I think he probably got a few episodes in and I got an email that said, hey, Chris, how do I get on these forums on your website? I go to the link and there's nothing there. And then I told him. And then something else popped up like 2 weeks ago. I got another email. Hey, Chris, I was on your website and I was looking for your calendar of when you guys are going to be traveling.
Because that's still at the end of the show.
I was like, I redesigned the website a year ago and that's been gone since then, since we talk about it on the show so much. I feel really bad for this guy because all the answers are there. He just hasn't got to where he needs to get. And eventually, like a year from now, he's going to hear this episode.
I think that's a metaphor for life. All the answers are there. We just haven't got to where it is yet.
That's pretty much it. Anyways, Josh, if you want to join us over on Twitter,
X,
he's at Vegas Duffy. I'm at Small Whale 13, or the show page is at Crap Vegas. All those links are still good. But the best way to join us is going to be over on Patreon. That's patreon.com/crapvegas. We still offer a 1-week trial. We'd love to have you come over, check it out. Everything's ad-free, tons of bonus content, and more importantly, Josh, we're just getting ready to do sign-ups for the CV Fantasy Football League.
Yes.
And Fading Crap Vegas is coming back as additional content on there as well to hear our gambling picks, which is always just a ton of fun. I mean,
don't
we're not very
us,
good at it, but that's why it's called Fading Crap Vegas.
Right.
But it is a ton of fun every year that we do that. So we'd absolutely love to have you over there.
Absolutely.
Previous episode feedback. We got a message from Cliff over on Twitter. Cliff said, enjoying the recent episode and thinking of things that have gone away that we'd like to have back. I think the term that we're looking for, Josh, is casino adjacent live music.
I think that's exactly right. I don't think we thought of it that way, and let alone that phrase, but that's exactly it. It's not so much just there's a booked a band, but it's a band near the casino. It's live music right there.
Yeah, it's always enjoyable. It just makes the experience so much better. And nowadays, it's just all pumped in music in the exact same order every day. And it's all PC and perfect. And it's just, no, let's go back to the live music.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Cliff.
Got an email from Mike. Mike said, love the episode about Vegas of yore. It's amazing how much the city has changed over the past 15 to 20 years. I too miss a lot of things that were mentioned on the show, but I will add that my biggest takeaway is that you guys and I both just miss the old Vegas ambiance that has been steadily disappearing for years. Theming, neon, over-the-top decor, dealer costumes. Those are just some of the small things that are now gone. Vegas used to be so special for how much different it was of an experience than going to a locals casino. That difference is shrinking every day, and I don't think that's a good thing. Love the show and keep up the great work, Mike. And Josh, what do you think? Is that an issue where Vegas casinos are just becoming more and more like local properties?
Well, thanks, Mike. I don't think it's that. I mean, maybe they are in the de-theming, but I think they're kind of, maybe it's a combination of the de-theming and the moving, which we talked about, to higher end stuff. So it's not as kitsch as it was, which separated it from locals places. It's becoming higher end gambling and higher end shopping and higher end restaurants. And that, so it's definitely, I don't see it as becoming as much like a local place as just really shifting as kind of, we talked about it, but the demographic.
Well, let me ask you this then, Josh. I'll rephrase that question a little bit differently. What do you think that a Vegas casino offers that you don't have at a local property? Because local properties can have big spas and tons of dining and good gaming and good dealers. I mean, they can have all the things that we would want out of a good Vegas property. What is it in Vegas that separates it?
Well, that's a great question. And just as you're asking it, I mean, the number of choices available, I think, is key.
Sure.
The availability of games is key. You go to your locals place a lot and you can't get on the craps table, that kind of thing.
Sure.
So I don't have to worry about whatever the game I want being available. I can usually, that's not always the case, but I can usually find it. And I think the quality of shows, I mean, maybe you get a, Dolly Parton tribute band, to use Dolly as an example, at the local place, but you're not going to get Dolly, that kind of example. Although I did see Kenny Rogers at the local casino years ago.
Okay.
So, but
no, I'm right there with you. I think it's better shows, better dining, options in general, just higher quality. And it is nice to have other properties around. Now, I'm sure a lot of people would say, well, Atlantic City or Biloxi or any of those areas, you have the same thing as Vegas has when it comes to properties.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a different feeling for some reason in Vegas. I mean, we've talked about it before. I don't know how to put words to it, but it definitely feels different gambling in Vegas than it does locally.
Yeah. And part of the thing for me is the getaway, the being able to get away from reality. And Vegas is just the ultimate place to do that.
I agree. We got a message over on Patreon from Tony. Tony said, R.I.P. Zumanity. I miss you too. Wife and I went and sprung for front row tickets. We both became part of the show at points. My head ended up being between the busts of two quarreling French maids in the pre-show skits. My wife was pulled upstage for some antics with Casanova during the show. So much fun. Too bad it's gone. Josh, it's not just us that miss Zumanity.
Yeah, it was such a great show, especially if you had front row or the love seat.
I never got that. Yeah. I missed out on that experience, but I do remember the French maids at the beginning and what happened.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. I remember the fishbowl. There were all sorts of,
Got an email from Dealer Jay over at Win, Josh. Jay said, hey guys, another entertaining podcast. In reference to the $2.50 checks that we talked about last time, Josh, where I said,
you
for
talked
some
about
reason,
it. I just listened, right?
They're not in Vegas, but they're everywhere else. He said, I have no clue why Vegas doesn't use them. Being from Atlantic City, we had them there. See you soon, Jay. I got a bunch of other messages on Twitter and stuff from people saying, yeah, my locals property has 250 checks. I don't know why. I still would love to have an answer, but I haven't heard one yet.
Well, thanks, Jay. I'm glad you were able to answer Chris's question a little bit.
Kind of. He just agreed with me, but he didn't give me an answer.
It's more than you got from me, which is, I haven't thought about it before.
And Josh, we teased this at the very beginning of the episode, but I have a note about a BJUA red siren. And I know you love acronyms. It sounds horribly inappropriate. So please explain to me what a BJUA red siren is.
Well, I got a text message from Boring Jack.
That's the BJ part.
Right. And the text message came with a red siren.
Okay.
So this is a Boring Jack umbrage alert.
Did he refer to it as umbrage?
He did.
It feels exactly like something Jack would say.
So Jack pointed out, and he is absolutely right, which is why I wanted to include it in the show. If he had been wrong, or if I hadn't thought of it already, I might not have included it. But I had this same thought. So, Chris, this relates to the listener. I can't remember the name, but the listener who wrote in asking about our success percentage in video poker, or hands played correctly percentage in video poker.
Josh, that was one of our patrons, Ben, last episode.
Oh, see, that was Ben. Okay. So, Ben, you asked about the hands, the percentage of hands we play correctly and that kind of stuff. And I realized I did it after the fact, but Jack was the one who sent the red siren alert.
Okay.
Wanted to point out the fact that on videopoker.com, there is a difference between your error rate, the percentage of hands played correctly, and the error cost relative to perfect play. So it's kind of two different figures there. I think I should have said, and this would be probably pretty close to accurate, my percentage of hands played correctly is closer to 95%. Of course, that goes up the more hands you play, that you don't get anything wrong, that kind of thing. My percentage of error cost is close to 99.8, 99.7%. So on Ultimate X, right. On Ultimate X, I might get 5% of hands wrong, but the difference is very minimal. It's a 10-cent difference here or a 20-cent difference there, that kind of thing.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. That is good feedback. Now, see, I would be the exact opposite. If Jack had something that was accurate that we got wrong, I have no desire to bring that up on the show. But if he was wrong, I would absolutely want to point it out on the show. He messaged us and was wrong. See, I think you and I just think completely differently.
We do. Well, if I hadn't thought of it already, maybe, I was going to point out that, hey, I realized that, there are kind of two different things, and then Jack pointed out. So I give him his due.
Thanks, Jack, for the umbrage alert there. Okay, Josh, gambling etiquette. We received an email from a listener that I thought I would read to start the discussion.
Perfect.
Okay.
Go for it.
Angie says, hey guys, love the show. I was at a craps table this weekend and this guy next to me was doing everything wrong. Taking forever to throw the dice after setting them 100 different ways, throwing chips down while the dice were out, loudly talking about how he hoped a 7 didn't come every time the dice were shot. And I swear the whole table wanted to strangle him. It got me thinking, is there an official rule book for craps etiquette? Or are we all just guessing what's polite and what's not? Would love to hear what your biggest tips are for craps etiquette and maybe other games as well. Thank you for all you do, Angie.
Well, thanks, Angie. That's a great question. So, Chris, I know you've already kind of got a list done, as you like to do. You want to kind of start us through?
Yeah, I mean, I made a list of things that I feel like are worthwhile to point out. And Angie, I wish there was an official etiquette rule book for craps. To the best of my knowledge, that does not exist.
Yeah, exactly. We'll give you that. Just come back, refer to episode 86 of the Crap Vegas podcast for your craps and gambling etiquette questions.
And what were those old, like, Josh, like in newspapers and stuff, like you would send a letter to like Heloise and get like, what I'm talking about? Like etiquette
Dear
support.
Abby. Dear Abby.
Yeah, like, okay. Think of Josh as Abby of the craps world. If you ever have an etiquette question, just shoot Josh a text or a tweet or catch him on Facebook. He'll answer any question you have.
And think of Chris as Dr. Ruth.
Yes. Oh, that's definitely me. I like to think of myself more as like a Delilah. Like I could do that at night. I could give
She's
like
from
love
here,
advice.
by the way, I think.
Is she really? Is she still on the air?
I think she is, but I think it's like, she's on YouTube or she's on some sort of, I don't know if she's on radio anymore. Linear media.
I'm getting deja vu right now. I feel like we discussed this at some point.
We may have.
Okay, anyways. Okay, so craps etiquette. Let's start with like buy-in stuff, right? When you're first walking up to the table. The two things I think are most important when we're talking about craps etiquette. One, wait for a shooter to make his or her point or to 7 out before you buy in. So wait for that puck to be off. I prefer to wait for a brand new shooter. I don't like coming into the middle of somebody's roll, even if they did just make a point. But you can do so as long as the puck is off. It's acceptable by most people in those situations.
Yeah, and I don't go quite as far as Chris. I usually just don't have the patience to wait for a new shooter for the shooter to 7 out. But I absolutely suggest and follow that you wait until the puck is off. If by some chance you either on purpose or accidentally buy in during a roll, which can happen, maybe you're drunk, whatever, don't take the chips and then not play.
Oh, no, that will piss people off to the extreme. Because if you're going to interrupt it, I mean,
here's the thing. Sure as hell play.
And the best way to do that is if you did mess up and buy in the middle of a roll and they go to push you the chips and you say you want to play 270 across out of it, just tell them as they're about to push the chips, take 270 across out of that. They'll grab the money. They'll push you yours so you can pick up. They can send the dice and they'll start setting it up in the background. That's the best thing you can do. But I agree, Josh. You can't come in the middle of a roll. If you do, sure as heck, put some money down at least.
Right. And it happens, though. You see people that buy in the middle of the roll, don't play, and then occasionally you even see them buy in and then leave.
Now, I will say this, Josh. I haven't kept an official record, but
Right.
I do think the times that I've walked up to a table in the middle of a roll and patiently waited for the actual 7 out to come,
Right.
it has probably cost me somewhere in the $1 to $1.2 million range.
Oh yeah, you got to just play.
Last
Don't
time
wait
I
for
was
the
at
7
my
out.
local casino, Josh, I had a great night. I tripled up my money. It was terrific. However, when I walked up, there was a guy shooting who didn't have any box numbers at all. All he had was a pass line bet. He wasn't playing the all tall small, but the dealers were marking it. He hit the all tall small and hit the small while I was waiting.
Whew. And you just had to sit there and take
And I just sat there patiently, and it was just miserable.
awful, right?
The other thing I would say during the buy-in, have your money sorted out and ready to go as soon as that event happens, whether that's the puck getting turned off, a 7 coming. Have your card, your money, everything, set it down on the table nicely. Don't throw it at them. Just have it there, put it down, and then we can go. And if you mix up your bills, like if you have 20s interchanged with 50s and 100s in the stack, they got to take the time to sort it all out before. No, you come up to the table, $100 bills only, if that's what I prefer, and put them down on the table, and we get in and out. It should not take very long.
Yes, I think you're right. I mean, sometimes you just grab money out of your wallet. Maybe there's
You don't.
small-
If you only have $20 bills,
that one doesn't bother me quite as much as Chris.
Josh, I mean more. If you only have $20 bills because that's what the ATM gave you, if you're buying in for like $80, that's fine. But if it's more than 100,
you should go to the cage first.
you need to go to the cage and change it out.
Sure. Good luck with that. And for God's sakes, don't have 50s.
Oh no, there's nothing worse than that. But
No 50s.
okay. General etiquette, Josh. So we're past the buy-in. It's just a normal game. Things that we think are important. My first one: make your bets early and be clear with what you want.
There's no shame in kind of forgetting what something is called.
Sure.
That happens to the best of us. You kind of lose track of what you want to do. Dealers, if they're good crews, can help you. But absolutely, the faster you can get your bet in and in some way or another express to the dealer what you're trying to do, that just helps the game go smoothly.
Don't throw money into the working areas. It's confusing and it may get locked up. Nothing makes me madder as a former dealer and somebody that doesn't appreciate that sort of thing is when people take chips and they'll throw it like right into the middle of the box numbers, or they'll throw it right into the middle of a bunch of hard ways.
Right.
And the dealers have no clue who it came from, what it is. Make sure somebody's paying attention and put the money in the correct place.
Yeah, I mean, you get dealers like Jay or Rick or Liz, the good dealers that can handle a fair bit of incoming volume.
Yes.
But the newer a dealer is, I mean, I could just imagine if I had to do it.
Yeah.
That would be just overwhelming. When people are tossing in chips out of turn, or when you're still trying to do payouts or that
Yes.
kind of stuff. So absolutely, don't throw money in. They'll say ready to take your bet, whatever you want, or they'll call out for things. They're not going to pass you by. And in the rare case that does happen, then you talk to the box and say, hey, you're moving too fast. I didn't
Yeah,
get to get
you
my
can.
bets out. Right.
Yeah, I agree with you. Okay, Josh, how about respecting other spaces? I mean, I know craps tables are very crowded spots.
That's hard.
You could have 8 people on a side, depending on where this table is. It gets super crammed. But try, if you can, to be respectful. You have your rail. That's your
Mhm.
spot. I get it. If you're a small person, then you fit in perfectly. If not, maybe turn sideways or step back from the table.
That's what
a
I
little
was going to
bit,
say. I've done both of
especially-
those. Right.
especially if the person next to you is shooting. Make
Mhm.
sure they have plenty of space so that they can grab the die like they need to, or whatever it is that they need.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right. Do you, Chris, I don't know if you are you a step back person, or are you a kind of a hunch over your chips person if you have to? How do you?
I use my hands pretty actively to protect my chips if
Right,
it's a crowded
right.
table. Everybody that has ever seen a picture from me on Twitter or anything knows how I keep my rack organized.
Yeah, you're
So
less likely to notice somebody stealing
I'm very
chips, right.
meticulous when it comes to putting high denomination chips, biggest to the left,
Right.
and then working my way right. And anyways, why I say that though, Josh, is if I'm crowded right next to somebody, I'll almost always keep my left hand over the edge of my rack, right where the big chips start there on the side.
Right.
I don't worry about the right side as much because all I keep over there is a couple nickels, some dollars, stuff like
Right,
that.
right.
But I do keep my hand right there. So I don't step back from the table because I just don't trust people that are right next to me not to try to make a quick move to grab like a $500 chip or a $1,000 chip.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And the other thing kind of along these same lines is when we're talking about respecting space, that includes people that are watching.
Yes.
One thing that kind of gets me, and the worse my mood is, so the more the table is going wrong, the more I have a problem with it. But be aware if you're standing behind players as well. Like that might make somebody uncomfortable, that kind of thing. And for me, it does if I'm losing. If I'm winning, I don't care as much. But if I'm losing, just give me my space and don't get close and that kind of thing.
Okay. Josh, how about getting your hands back? Getting your hands, you're away from the table. When those dice are out, they always say, dice out, hands up. You have got to get your hands away from the edge of the table. Don't be sticking your hand out to put a bet out. Once those dice are out, you're done. If you missed your bet, you missed your bet. You can try to do a verbal call bet. If the dice get sent and I needed a $30 six, you can tell your base dealer, give me 30 on the six, and he'll say bet. And then, you got it, you're good, but you've got to get those hands away from the table.
Yes, and we've mentioned it before. Craps is one of the only games, and this isn't every casino, but most casinos, especially in Las Vegas, where a verbal bet between you and your dealer is binding. So if you say, give me a $30 six, the dealer says bet, that counts, and you have to give them the money if you lose, that kind of thing.
If a seven comes immediately, you lost that money, even though it never hit the table.
That's an important thing to remember, and a good etiquette thing, too. And to Chris's point, keep your hands out when the dice are out, but if you did forget something, just say it, and if the dealer calls it a bet, then you're good to go. If not, you wait for the next hand.
It always cracks me up, though, Josh, when we're talking about this, because almost every table nowadays has a sign that says no call bets, which is exactly what you're doing.
Right.
But yet I've never heard one disallowed.
No, I don't think, unless the person is going, way late or, then the dealers will say no bet. Yeah.
But it's usually only when they're frustrated with that person for other things.
That's true.
That's usually when it
usually
happens.
For making late bets or late center
a lot of late
action
bets, and eventually they'll just say no action, and and that's usually what happens. Next one on my list, Josh, don't say seven or actively root against the table of playing the don't.
That is absolutely right. And to a certain extent, I don't know if you agree with me, Chris, but don't do the other thing either. So if you have a don't player, and I think of this oftentimes if it's a big don't player, I try not to also rub it in their face.
I feel personally attacked right now.
Well, no, I want to get rid of them. I want to knock out the don't player, have them leave the table, and then I'm gleeful. But I also don't want to just like, ha ha ha, we made the point, you lost your money. I don't want to go that way either.
Well, like Happy Gilmore 2 just came out this past weekend, Josh.
Which I haven't seen yet, right?
When I'm at a craps table and there's a don't player, I'm like Shooter McGavin. Like if I knock down a bet, it's like some guns flying up in the air, taking those bets out left and right.
So I'm thinking of the golf analogy, and I'm thinking, you're out on the driving range, and there's the poor guy out in the cage enclosed golf cart scooping up the balls. You're trying to hit him, aren't you?
Oh, absolutely. I'm going right for him. The good news for him, though, is there's zero chance I'd hit him if I was aiming for him.
Same for me. Right.
Okay, Josh, more of a positive etiquette. Do tip the dealers. I think that is extremely important. Dealers love it. It makes you feel good as the player. It gets them on your side. And I am a firm believer that tipping dealers in the long run financially is in your best interest.
Yes, I don't know if it, yes, I agree that it may be
not to the extent that we do.
Okay.
But in general, I feel like tipping is a plus EV sort of situation.
I can go with that. But more importantly, it is just great to do. I mean, it's part of the reason I love craps. And actually, really one of the main reasons is tipping dealers. And I think for me and for Chris, getting them involved in the game. So whether that's putting $1 on the line or making some place bets for them like we tend to do, I just really enjoy having them invested in the action with us. I know, when you look at House Edge and all that stuff, maybe it's better to just give them the $5 and put it in the box. But I love having the dealers in the game with me. That's part of the fun.
Oh, absolutely. And it's all about building friendships and stuff too. And they can appreciate what you're doing. I mean, Josh, look, some of our biggest listeners to this show are Vegas craps dealers.
Yeah.
And we're well aware of that fact. And I get more emails from a couple actual craps dealers in Vegas than I do from random people that listen to the show.
They just try and do stuff on the forums.
Yeah, that's true, which some people can and can't find depending on what episode you're listening to. Next thing I had, Josh, do ask questions, but at the right time. If you don't know what you're doing, dealers absolutely will help you, but you just have to understand there are times that they can help you and times that they can't. If the dice are out and they're watching what's going on, probably not a good time to answer a question. You just came out, you're trying to figure out what to bet. That's the perfect time to ask them a question.
Yes, and I had this as a kind of an overall theme of gambling etiquette. For the most part, know the rules, at least a little bit of the game before you go up to the table, if it's not an empty table or if you're not just with your friends. If there's strangers there, you should really know the game before you go up to the table, because players generally want to keep the game going, especially in craps, but in most
Absolutely.
every other game. So it's good to have an idea what you're doing. I understand we all need to learn games. I mean, if I go up to a Ultimate Texas Hold'em game right now, I don't know what the hell to do, but I'm going to try to do it and, ask those questions or learn about the game either at an empty table or with people I know or something like that.
I mean, that's a great point, Josh. I would never walk up to a random carnival game that had 2 or 3 players at the table if I didn't know how to play.
Exactly.
There's zero chance of that happening. If I want to learn a game, I'm going to walk up to a dead table and take it from there. And if I still haven't learned and other people come, I may color up and walk away because I don't want to slow them down. But keeping pace is important.
Now, with craps, I understand. Craps is a complicated game. It's hard to learn the rules without playing it, even if we watch YouTube videos or what.
Yes.
That's when you try and find a slow table, find it, first thing in the morning, empty table, tell the dealers you want to learn the game. They'll help you, or at
Absolutely.
least tell the other players, kind of apologize for maybe being new, and they'll understand.
I mean, you and I have played together hundreds of times. How many times have I spent half the session helping a newbie at the table understand
Chris is
what
good
to
at
do?
that. That's why I have Chris stand player side, so he can do that part, right?
Yeah. Josh is always in a position where he can only have one person next to him, me.
True.
Okay, Josh, I only had a couple more regarding craps, and it was specifically about shooting. My first rule is do not take more than 10 seconds to release the dice once they come to you. I don't care what you do with them. Flip them over, throw them against the wall. If you want to do any of that stupid crap, go ahead, but you have 10 seconds, and I'd prefer if it took 5.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, the people that just go on and on and on, those routines, just throw the dice. I understand if you want to set whatever, but just make it quick.
Well, if you're going to set, at least understand that opposite sides of the die add up to 7.
Yes,
That would be a
exactly.
good start.
Wait, they do? No,
What? Huh? Not according to most images on Vegas social media.
that's true. Or AI.
And my other thing, Josh, is don't kiss the dice or anything else inappropriate. We all touch these dice. They're not getting cleaned in between. I do not want you kissing the dice that I'm about to pick up.
That was one of the best things during COVID when they would clean the dice between every
between-
shooter.
yeah. Well, at the same time, though, Josh, we were passing chips back and forth. It really
I
made
know.
no
It was
sense.
all that part was. But I did like the cleaning the dice with stuff.
I just like the plexiglass walls at the table so that I had
know,
2
those
full
were great.
rails at all times.
I remember. Boy, that seems like forever ago.
Oh, yeah, that was really nice. Okay, so other games, the only couple notes I made. If we're talking about slots, my big things are A, don't save a slot machine with your card or jacket or whatever it is that you do. We talked about tilting a chair recently. Enough with all that stuff. Don't do any of that. That's rude. Don't slap the buttons or the screen. I do not understand what people are doing, why they do that. It breaks the buttons. It just ruins the game. You could do literal damage to their property. It doesn't change anything. Please don't do that. And the last one, and you kind of mentioned this on the crap side, is don't hover behind. There is nothing worse
Yes.
as a slot player or a VP player than having somebody standing directly over your shoulder watching you. I don't understand what these people are doing.
Yeah, exactly. And that's true with most all these things. Chris, I forgot to tell you, I think on one of the Las Vegas trips, there was a woman in the high limit slot room at Wynn, and she was doing this big, huge routine about tapping the screen and all this kind of, it was over the top. And then it was for like $12. Her bonus was.
Oh, yeah, nothing. Yeah. Josh, tell me about your other overall casino etiquette rules you wanted to get in there.
So don't blame the dealers when things go wrong. And this is
Yes.
true with craps. It's true with blackjack. It's not the dealer's fault. If you're losing a ton of money, if the dice aren't going your way, you see people that are usually somebody that's been drinking, but in some way or another blaming the dealers. And this applies to other shooters as well.
Yes.
Don't blame another person, particularly dealers, but anybody else at the table when things go wrong. That includes somebody making the wrong play at blackjack on third base, all that stuff. That's part of gambling, and losing is, we all know it's a negative EV. These are negative EV games, and you're going to lose in the long run, and it's going to happen, and it's going to suck. Don't blame the dealers. They're doing this. This is their going to work. This is their job, and you want to make it as pleasurable for them as possible.
Yeah, I feel like you see this more on blackjack than anywhere. I don't know why, but it feels like that's the biggest place that people get mad at dealers. You don't see people getting as mad at craps dealers. Maybe it's just me. I haven't experienced that as much.
I see it, but no, probably not quite as much.
Not as bad. But anyways, yes, Josh is 100% right. Don't take it out on them. And your tipping should not be dependent upon if you're winning or losing. It has nothing to do with them. You're tipping them for the service they're providing, not for the results at the table. Josh and I, or everybody that's ever played with us know, we tip the exact same way whether we're winning or losing. There's a very basic level that we're always at. We always have a nickel on the line for the dealers. We're always buying them numbers. Now, granted, if it's a great roll, then yeah, we may get every number pressed way up for them. But you always need to do at least something for them, and it shouldn't matter if you're winning or losing.
Yep. Second to the last thing I have, Chris, is don't touch or even pretend to touch another player's chips.
Yeah, I mean, theft in general is a bad thing.
But you see people that occasionally will be just strangers that'll be, like, ooh, that's a lot of chips. And they kind of pretend to reach over or, things like that. And that's
that's kind of rude.
Yeah, it's rude. Chris and I sometimes will play for each other. If one goes to the bathroom, that kind of thing. I'm always really careful with that to like show my hand to the camera, do all sorts of things like that to make sure that everything's above board, that I'm doing this with his approval, all that kind of stuff.
Which is funny though, Josh, because you and I will literally grab like nickels and quarters out of each other's racks without even
asking. Yes.
Yeah, but you'll just grab one and be like, here you go. I have taken many nickels out of Josh's rack and just tossed it to the dealers.
Right?
Yeah, I've taken a quarter before. No, it happens all the time. And he's right. I can't tell you how many times Josh has got paid on a bet and he wasn't paying attention or I wasn't paying attention. And I would pick it up for him and put it in his rack for him.
Right.
If you know the person next to you and the dealers know you and everybody's comfortable, that's one thing. But if you don't know that person at all and you're not like best friends playing right next to each other, don't touch their chips.
And the last thing I have, and this kind of goes to something kind of the opposite of what Chris touched on earlier, which is don't offer players advice or coaching unless they want it.
And yes, that's the key thing. They have to ask for it. If they ask for it, absolutely. If they don't, then don't say a word.
Yeah, exactly. And no matter how wrong you think somebody is playing, you could ask, maybe, can I help you? Or can I, do you want a suggestion? But yeah, I'm just off the top of my head, that could go wrong too. But
I mean, at a blackjack table, you see so many stupid plays every day.
Right.
But unless that person turns directly to me and says, hey, how would you play this?
Right.
And
what's
even
the right
then,
player? Yeah.
I would say, the book says that you're supposed to do this. Or if it's a guy on a craps table and he's like, hey, what is this spot for? I'll explain it to him. Right. And I'll even say it's a good bet or it's a bad bet. If they're not taking odds and he asks me, what is that? I'll tell him, hey, odds are the best bet in the casino. You should absolutely take some, whatever you think is comfortable. Right. But I'm not volunteering any feedback unless it's requested directly from me.
Yep, absolutely.
Josh, I think all that stuff is good. Maybe we need to make a book now and put it all in there and chapters and tables of contents and everything. It would be amazing.
Or just refer back to episode 86 of the Crap Vegas podcast.
Which I always love it. People always ask us, hey, what episode did you talk about this on? It's like, I don't know. Listen to them all. You'll find it. Check the show notes. Maybe it's in there. Okay, after the break, we'll answer a couple listener questions, spin the big wheel, and more. So stick around. Josh, Zorkfest 2025. Tell me all about it.
Well, I've been told it's just the right amount of loyalty and comps. Did you know that?
Just the tip. Just the tip.
Just the tip. Just the perfect right amount.
That's right.
Anyway, Zorkfest is coming up. It's going to be at the M Resort this year, which I'm super excited to go to. I've never been to M, so I'm excited to stay there, play there. It's going to be December 5th through the 7th, 2025. Really fun weekend. One thing I did want to mention, there's still some tickets available for Coffee Dice, which I believe is going to be Sunday morning. So get your tickets. It's going to be a lot of fun. Coffee Dice is always one of the big hits of the event. We had 2 tables last year, so go ahead and get those tickets. And then we're going to have a Friday night reserve craps table for our patrons too. So, and those tickets I think will go on. They're not going to be on sale, but they're just be available, I think, August 1st-ish or so. But get tickets for Coffee Dice because that is filling up. Really excited for Zorkfest. Hope to see everybody there. We'll have some surprise guests. Who knows who might show up?
Ooh, so if you want to get on over there, get signed up, get your tickets and all that good stuff taken care of, head on over to Zorkfest.com. That's ZORKFEST.com. Josh, VideoPoker.com is now an official sponsor of the Crap Vegas podcast. For those that aren't familiar, VideoPoker.com is the ultimate destination for video poker players. With paid memberships, you get exclusive training tools, real-time feedback on the plays that you're making, the most popular game variations out there. Whether you're trying to fine-tune your strategy or just take your game to the next level, VideoPoker.com has you covered.
You've heard Chris and I talk about it before this even came about. We love it. For training, I mean,
Absolutely.
I'm on it almost every day trying to train myself on stupid Ultimate X.
I have been too recently.
Exactly.
It's really cool because it will tell you, like, you've made the right decision on 87 out of 100 hands.
Right.
And it tells you exactly what you should have done if you make a mistake when you're making your choices. It keeps all that information historically for you so you can kind of go back and see how things are going. Josh, it's just a really good tool if you're going to be a serious video poker player. And as I start to get into it more, I feel like if I'm going to do this, it's like blackjack basic strategy. I need to know the best play so I can eliminate the house edge as much as possible.
That is exactly right. I've been doing it almost nonstop on 3-line, Ultimate X, and you can choose when you're going in and configuring your games. You can say, I want to play Ultimate X, I want to play double. I'm playing in a machine that's going to give me 9-5 or 8-5
you can
or
choose
whatever
the
it
pay
is.
table that you
Right,
want.
all that stuff.
Yeah, you can choose all that stuff. It is 100% customizable once you get into the paid higher levels of the plans. And even if you don't want to pay for it, I understand that. They have a free membership. You got to watch a couple ads before you get into the game. Still worthwhile doing at the beginning, and maybe you'll see, okay, this is something I like, so I want to upgrade. But either way, if you're ready to play over there, we'd love for you to go over to crapvegas.com/poker to get signed up. Listener questions, Josh. We got a hypothetical dilemma from John that he'd like us to help him with.
Okay, go for it. I want to hear John's question.
John says, which would you choose? The premise is you need to stay for 90 days and can't leave the physical property for the entire 90 days. You can go to the pool area outside. Think of it like the McDonald's person who could only eat McDonald's. He's talking about Morgan Spurlock when he did the Super Size Me documentary. So you're locked into the property for 3 months, Josh, can't leave the actual property. Here's your 3 options. Option 1, 90-day stay at Wynn in a base room, no resort or free play each day.
Okay.
Option 2, 90 days at Venetian Palazzo in a base room with a $100 resort or free play credit per day.
Okay.
Or option 3, 90 days at the Four Queens in a base room, $500 resort free play credit per day. You need to consider food options, ancillary costs. So like Wi-Fi at Wynn would be charged.
Okay.
All the physical grounds, the staff. There's no cheating and getting Ubers if you choose the Four Queen option, like
No
Uber
Uber
Eats or
Eats,
DoorDash or anything. And you truly are captive at that resort. However, you are free to go between Venetian Palazzo, like in between those,
Right.
and Wynn Encore. So you get both properties in the mix. Thanks for a great listen every week. This week's pod triggered the thought to send this.
Okay, great. Would you rather, John? Chris, $500 a day
That's a
over
lot.
90 days is 45 grand.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
I'm staying at Four Queens for 45 grand.
I mean, here's the
you've
thing.
got Hugo Cellar, you've got Chicago Brewing, you've got, I can get burgers, I can get pizza, now the idea of being able to go like between Venetian Palazzo is enticing to me if I'm there for 90 days. Four Queens is a small space. Like you don't have a lot of places to go for 90 days, but 45 grand is a lot of money to play with, to eat. Obviously you wouldn't need that much to eat with, but if I'm there for 90 days, the $500 free play a day is a real thing.
Oh, no, yeah, absolutely is. And I'm thinking about it like this, Josh. So like, okay, so you're saying 45,000 at Four Queens versus what, 9,000?
9,000 at VP,
Venetian,
right?
or 0 at Wynn. I think in this situation, I would rule Wynn out immediately. Because if you're talking about 3 months, it doesn't talk about like bankroll or anything.
Right.
So actually in this case, I feel like Four Queens might actually be the best option, because if I'm playing anywhere and staying for 3 months, I need to make my money last a good while.
Right.
And there's no better place to do that than someplace like Four Queens, where I can find $5 or $10 tables and make my money go, because I don't need $500 a day in food. I probably
That's
need
what I was thinking, right.
$50 or $75, and that gives me $400 in gambling a day. I'm sure their base rooms are perfectly fine and clean, nothing special. As long as there's a clean bed, a shower, and a TV and Wi-Fi, what else do I need?
Right. And 45 grand.
Well, I mean, at Wynn though, Josh, I mean, if you're just talking about like the Wi-Fi each day is
$30 a day,
$37,
right.
or whatever it is. So, I mean, that's going to add up tremendously fast.
Plus you're paying for your food.
And yes, it is the best room. For me, it goes back and forth between Venetian Palazzo and Four Queens, but I think I would absolutely take Four Queens in that situation.
There we go. So give us 45 grand, somebody, and we'll stay at Four Queens, right?
We will go down there for 45 grand. We're listening. Or Jonathan Jossel, if you want to give us 40 for the plaza, let us know.
Oh, a discount,
we'll make that
right?
happen. Yeah. We got an email from Larry, Josh. He said, hey, you knuckleheads. I mean, hi, Chris and Josh. I get great comp offers from MGM, and I usually stay at Park. He likes that it's no smoking, Bavette's, the high limit bar. He said, where I know and I like the crap stealers. But after hearing you guys talk about Bellagio and Aria, I think I'd like to give them a try. Would it be bad form to stay at Aria or Bellagio and do all my gambling at Park? Is it all the same to MGM as long as I stay in their universe? Or would Aria or Bellagio have a beef if I take the free room and don't gamble at their tables? Keep it up, fellas. You're the best. Larry in California.
Larry, great question. This is actually one that comes up a fair bit, and particularly in the MGM family and the Caesars family. It doesn't matter anymore. It used to matter. You used to want to play where you stayed, and that in the MGM portfolio specifically. Now it doesn't matter. MGM doesn't care. Stay at Aria or Bellagio if you like the rooms, if you like the restaurants, and go play at your favorite place. MGM will not care. They'll be happy. And absolutely, I encourage you to do it. Like if you like the rooms at one place and the gambling atmosphere at another, absolutely.
And they're all so close together, Josh. Aria, Bellagio, Park. I mean, even if you're staying the farthest away, it's still a nice, easy walk. Everything's interconnected nowadays.
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
and you've got
wouldn't hesitate
the
at
tunnel,
all.
the hidden tunnel, whatever it's called, between Park and Aria. Yeah.
Yeah, I would absolutely stay the best place that you can. We got an email from Chris. Chris said, "Hey guys, I just recently found your podcast and am enjoying the content. My wife and I love to gamble, but usually don't put that much money in play. We're going to Vegas in September and probably have about $1,200 per person budget for the trip. We love playing craps and blackjack, but with that budget, as one can imagine, we usually don't play much on the strip. We're planning to start playing more slots and VP on the strip, though. The plan is to stay at both Caesars and MGM to see if we can get some offers in the future. How should we approach this? Should we just use her player's card at Caesars or MGM and my card at the other? Should we do it at both? Or should we just focus the majority of our play at only one brand while we're there? If so, which one do you recommend? Thanks in advance."
I think I would focus on one brand, don't you think, Chris? And I think that I would say Caesars probably with a lower bankroll.
Yeah, I can't argue with it, Josh. We've talked many times that MGM expects a little bit more to give more.
Mm-hmm.
Their properties in general are nicer. But that being said, Caesars has places like Planet Hollywood. That's one of my favorite properties in the whole city. So no, I would focus on the Caesar side. You're going to get more bang for your buck there. You're definitely going to get hotel rooms almost immediately playing with that kind of money coming in. And they will give you some decent free play or tickets or giveaways or slot contests. They always have multiple options when you're coming out to Vegas.
Thanks for the question, Chris.
You're welcome, Josh. Finally, Josh, we got an email from Omari. He said, "Hello, guys. I'm a big fan of your podcast. I'm a platinum player at MGM Resorts. Probably averaged $300 to $400 per hand at Aria or Cosmo over the past couple years. He usually gets a tower suite at Aria or one of the Vidara suites, but lately my host at Aria is not responsive. For what it's worth, I have had a string of winning trips in 2025. Plus, I didn't play very long on some of these recent trips since I was hanging with friends. So I'm looking at trying out Win Encore. What sort of play do they typically want to see to comp a tower suite? Any other tips welcome, and thanks again for the good podcast, Omari."
Well, thanks, Omari. I don't know lately what it's going to take at Win, but what I will say is if you're playing $300 to $400 a hand pretty consistently, I think that should be fine to get tower suites room comp. What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, the tower suites part is the one that's making it difficult for me to answer. I mean, $250 to $300, you'll absolutely get comped at Win. I think that's a safe level. The tower suites bump, if you don't have the level, like if you don't have the black card that automatically gives you the promotion into that tower by default, it can be a little harder. And even Josh will tell you he didn't think he was going to get tower suites last time. Now they did give it to him. The host did. But then again, our average bet is a lot more than $300 to $400 too. So,
and now that you say it, I'm remembering back to when I first started playing at Win, and until I was black and playing at a higher level, I did just get comped the panoramic regular rooms or whatever they were called. Like it wasn't tower suites yet at the beginning, and that's kind of important, Omari. Win, yes, it's fun to be on the tower suite side and it's nicer, but all Win rooms are lovely. And if you start with a comped regular room at Win, in my opinion, that's just fine. You're not.
Yeah.
Tower suites are fun to have, and they're fun for us to talk about. Unless you're getting a suite, which is not all tower suites rooms. The rooms are not that different.
No, I mean, you get a different bed. It's got posts on it.
Right. Same mattress, though. Same linen.
Yeah, I mean, same mattress, same size room. I mean, it's pretty much the same room. Yeah, I mean, when I first started going to Win and playing over there, I did not get tower suites.
Right.
It took me until I hit, I think I was only platinum, if I remember correctly, Josh, but it took me like
once you
3
get
to
a play
4
history
trips before they even considered moving me up to that level. Because there was a period of time there where Josh was always on the tower suite side. I was on the resort side. And Josh, there was a door between him and I couldn't get through. So Josh would
love
rub it
that
in
door.
and we'd walk down to the door and he'd be like, look, I can open this door and you can't. And he would rub it in every single time. Thank God those days are done.
Now it's you that gets that side.
Now
I'm
that's
back to
me
the
that can
regular,
do that
but
to
right.
you, Josh. Ha ha. So good question, Amari. Hope that helps a little bit. But yeah, I think if you can get a play history in, get 2-3 trips in, they'll
Right.
get you moved over to the other side. And it is a really nice experience checking in on that side, private
Yes,
elevators.
That is a nice difference, right?
Yeah, it is pretty cool. Josh, Patreon. That's patreon.com/crapvegas. What do we have new over there?
Well, we released another episode of our CVTV. Chris and I looking at Vegas secrets revealed, I think. And we looked at how to spend $1 million, which was a lot of fun. And so this is where Chris and I are watching a Vegas-related show and kind of talking about it and different things that come to our mind as we're watching the show. They're a lot of fun. We like to spread those out and do them not all the time because we don't want people to have to deal with watching us all the time. And we've also, as Chris mentioned at the top of the show, we've got our Crap Vegas Fantasy Football League coming over on the Patreon side. We're going to be doing our Fading Crap Vegas shows and a whole bunch of fun.
Yeah, and I think, Josh, this year we're going to probably have to have 3 different fantasy football leagues, it sounds like.
Yes, we've got enough interest that I think we're going to have 3 teams going or 3 leagues going, right?
I mean, I was so good at managing 2 teams last year. I'm sure I'll kill it with 3.
I was going to suggest that, I do one league and Chris do another, but the people that got stuck with me might not, they will want Chris to be the opponent.
They wouldn't. This is the one time everybody wants Chris instead of Josh.
Right. Exactly.
So a big thank you to those that signed up over the past 2 weeks. That's Brian L., Matt J., Jessica K., Simone A. with a KCS membership. Thank you, Simone.
Thanks, Simone.
Ishan K. with an annual KCS membership.
Thank you, Sean.
And Larry H., who we answered a question from earlier, signed up, Josh, with an annual KCS membership. So thank you all for signing up over the past couple weeks.
Yeah, thanks very much. Means a lot to us. Appreciate your support.
Upcoming trips, as we mentioned, Josh and I are currently in Vegas right now, if this is dropping at some point this coming weekend. But I know you're going to be back in, 2 weeks or something?
Yeah, Vegas. I got a lot of Vegas in August. Then there's probably kind of an October trip coming up. Zorgfest in December.
Holy cow. So many opportunities to see us.
There's even talk, I don't think it's going to happen, but there's that Blackhawk trip in September, which Chris and I haven't talked about. But I know that Dr. Mike and Mark are going from. You could bet on that.
They are. I can't make it because I have something planned that weekend with my kids already. So unfortunately, I'll have to miss. But I do want to get out to Blackhawk soon, Josh. You and I have got it. Let's meet up there this winter sometime so we can do some skiing, little gambling. It'll be a lot of fun.
I like it.
Friendly reminder, subscribe and leave a review on your favorite podcasting app and to visit our merch store. That's crapvegas.com/shop. Josh, I feel like it is the obligatory time to spin the big wheel.
It is the obligatory time. All right, here we go. Let's spin the wheel.
It's time to spin the Crap Vegas Big Wheel. Are you ready? Josh, spin the wheel.
Okay, Chris, this is another one of your favorites, but not quite. This isn't going to be Guess the
guessing
Convention.
the acronym?
Well, it isn't because it's just too obvious and you'll know what they are. But coming up, starting while we're there, well, at least while I'm there or we're gone or I don't know, but you've got the Black Hat Convention at Mandalay Bay. You know what that is, right?
Yes, I do.
Followed closely behind by DEF CON.
Yes, this is a very big week for Vegas. They always do really well, and everybody's always scared that we got all these hackers in town.
Well, that's the thing,
doing
right?
All this crazy stuff, yes.
So I don't know if you saw in the news, but I guess it was as we're recording this just a couple days ago, but Venetian had their internet outage. Were you tracking that at all?
No, I wasn't. I didn't see that.
Oh yeah. I think it was this past Saturday, all Venetian systems went down and there was a big, talk of hacking and everything like that. The systems were down for a better part of a day, I think. It inconvenienced a lot of guests and they sent out a statement saying they lost internet access, which caused it. But I was thinking of these hacking conventions and wondered if they were there early causing trouble, right?
Got there a couple days early, caused some problems. I did see, Josh, in 2 weeks in Vegas, they're having the world's largest AI convention.
Oh, I bet it's maybe they're staying. Maybe the hackers are staying.
So this is like technology month, I guess. August is when all the IT stuff comes together. I do think that would be kind of interesting to go to the AI convention and see all the different robots and stuff they got going around and what they're doing nowadays. I think that'd be fun.
It's crazy. Wouldn't want to go to the hacker convention?
No, I wouldn't fit in very well there, I don't think.
I had dreams of being a hacker at some point when I was younger, but now it's, technology's passed me by.
There was a movie that I really liked as a kid. It was called Hackers. I don't know if you've seen it.
I don't think I did or have.
It starred Angelina Jolie. She was the female hacker. Josh,
Right.
It was one of the worst movies probably ever made. If I looked it up on Rotten Tomatoes, it would be like a 10% approval rating from critics.
Right.
It was just so corny that it was amazing. And there was like Crash and Burn and Override and all these they all had hacker names that made them sound super cool. Now, granted, I haven't seen this movie in 30 years, so I can't remember it perfectly well. But that's what I think of in all these situations. And I'm definitely not that type of person.
I'm not that type of person either. Chris, as you were talking, I was thinking about, do you remember the movie The Net?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Sandra Bullock?
Sandra Bullock, right.
Yeah.
Kind of the hacking into early on internet days.
You know what, Josh? Now that you say that, I think The Net and my movie,
Right.
Hackers, came out the same year. I'm pretty sure they
If
were
only
like
we could
back to
find
back.
out. We're not going
I guess
to,
I
though.
could Google it, but I'm not going to.
No.
But I'm pretty sure those came out right at the same time. Both terrific movies. If I had to guess on Rotten Tomatoes, The Net would be slightly higher up than
Probably.
Hackers. I do remember that The Net had Dennis Miller in it. And that was a nice selling point for me. But
you
anyways,
go.
yeah, great movies.
So if you're going to either the Black Hat or DEF CON, let us know. Let us know how it was.
Yeah.
I think there's a big post, celebratory thing at Allegiant Stadium and all sorts of fun.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Try not to get yourself in any trouble. Don't hack the thermostats of all the properties.
No, please don't do that.
All right, let's spin the wheel one more time, Chris.
One more time. Let's do it.
Oh, Chris.
Oh, Josh.
Here we go. Another one.
Oh.
STLV.
STLV.
Yes, STLV.
Ooh, I need to know
Here,
what
I
this
have
stands for. This is an acronym?
Yeah. This is you want a clue? I got an audio clue for you.
Ooh, audio daily double. Go ahead, Josh.
Here we go. Got it yet?
Now I got it. I'm going to go on a limb and say it's a Star Trek Las Vegas convention.
There we go. August 6th through 10th at Rio, Las Vegas. I'm really happy you didn't give me a chance to play the sound.
God damn it.
I didn't know what I was going to
got
do
it?
if you just said, Josh, that's Star Trek.
Yeah, I definitely didn't know. Now, are you doing cosplay this year for it? Are you dressing
No.
up with a communicator and an outfit and everything?
Nope, I'm not. I have my shirts. I have like 4 or 5 Star Trek t-shirts. That's it.
I mean, I feel like if you're going to go, you need to go all in. Like, you need to be Captain Spock and get the ears and all that stuff.
I don't think Spock was ever a captain, but
Okay, I don't. You're asking the wrong guy.
He
But
probably
I-
was somewhere.
He was something. What was he, a commander?
Anyway, yes, it is the Star Trek convention, Rio, Las Vegas, August 6th through 10th. 6,000 of us there. And no, I'm not going to be cosplaying. All right, that's it for the wheel.
Okay, fair enough. Anything else, Josh, before we get out of here today?
No, I'm ready to go down and hit the casino floor.
Oh, are you? If this is coming out on Sunday, you're on your way home.
Well, then I'll be back in 2 days.
Well, Josh, with that, we're going to get out of here. It's been a ton of fun. Hopefully everybody enjoyed listening, and we will talk to you all soon.
Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.
Vegas, here we come.
Thanks for listening to the Crap Vegas podcast.
Have you ever been to Vegas?
Check out all our recent news and our Vegas trip calendar by visiting crapvegas.com.
See you in Vegas.
Larry, wait.
Great question, Whaley.
Wait,
We
question,
love this.
Willie.
You're killing the mood, Josh. Come on now.
We'll get it back. We're professionals.
Well, I don't know about that, but let's meet up there this winter sometime so we can do some skiing and a casino trip, like a quick weekend.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Now you got me doing a quick weekend. What are you doing?
Tweety Bird.
Tweety Bird's coming to get us.
Perfect.
Perfect.